this weekend, getting that whiff of hydraulic fluid. If we can expose and encourage young people to challenge themselves and find a direction for what we do here, however little, I think it's important work.
Time and technology march on. The Boneyard will continue in its mission, taking custody of outdated aircraft, salvaging and reusing every part possible. But except for the small handful of aircraft that are preserved for posterity, once a certain model of jet fighter or helicopter or long-range bomber is gone, it's gone forever.
A common misconception that a lot of people have with AMARC is that there's still World War II aircraft over there. We more often than you think, we do get emails or phone calls from people doing family history or have heard legend through one of their uncles or cousins that, oh yeah, there's a boneyard out in Arizona that's got all these World War II aircraft out there. So they call wondering if their grandfather's B-24 is still parked across the street there, and we have to generally explain to them, no, I'm afraid not. I mean, it was turned into beer cans probably 60 years ago. So the idea that a lot of people have is that the boneyard is really a boneyard, like a graveyard, where it's a very static kind of place where nothing happens. It's just a big, I don't know, like some hillbilly farm in the middle of Texas with 400 old tractors laying there. It's anything but, as you may have seen. It's a very heavily engaged, dynamic, busy organization that's tasked with supporting, the mission of the United States Air Force and its allies. And that's a huge amount of work.
For today's Air Force from Tucson, Arizona, I'm Tech Sergeant Nicholas Kurtz.
Every year, the AMARC team reclaims hundreds of millions of dollars worth of parts to support global warfighting operations. The Boneyard is one of the most cost-effective programs in the entire federal government. For every $1 spent on performing the mission at AMARC, the combination of parts reclaimed and aircraft decommissioned results in nearly $11 being returned to the Treasury, an annual return on taxpayer investment of more than $1 billion. Coming up, a look at the process aircraft go through once retired, when today's Air Force returns.
I don't know what it's like.
I don't know what it's like to be in a war.
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like to be
shot at.
To be put in harm's way.
Put my life on the line.
I don't know what it's like. But I do know no one comes back the same. No matter how tough you are,
How brave, how patriotic.
anybody can get hurt.
And not just physically hurt.
If you're a service member
Or in a military family and you're feeling hopeless, you're not alone.
please call this number. It's confidential and free.
Your family needs you.
We need you.
Thank you for your service.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to this special edition of Today's Air Force. So far, we've shared a little bit about the Boneyard, its history, and its importance today to Air Force missions worldwide. Now we'll take a look at what happens to aircraft once they make that final landing at the Boneyard, and how some get a second chance. Here's the story.
We're bringing this airplane here. It's its last flight. It's being retired from service in the Air Force to the Boneyard. It's flown over 20,000 hours, delivered cargo all over the world. It's a sad day of seeing this airplane being put to rest. But it has had a long life. It's been flying since 1969.
What we came here to do is deliver this two ship of B-1s to the AMARC. We're sad to see them go. They've been great workhorses, but it's time to put them to sleep. And so we flew in here from Dyess Air Force Base, the 9th Bomb Squadron. We're sad to see her go. She's been a great asset and really good at helping us defend our nation.
You got it, senor.
One of the things that I talk about when I get a chance to talk to the employees of AMARC is I talk about what we do here. Do we store airplanes? We sure do. But that's not what's important about us for the Department of Defense. The most important thing we do is support the warfighter through different technologies and through different operations. We have 5 major processes that we do here. The first is storage, which most people are familiar with, taking an airplane, preserving it here and keeping it in the desert for future use.
Our role is to preserve incoming aircraft. Well, we first started out by taping up all the seams of the engine. That's what we're working on, the B-52 back here behind me. And then after that, we sprayed the first coat of rubberized coating, basically to prevent dust and bird intrusion from getting into the engines and trying to keep them as clean as possible.
Most people think we store aircraft just to get rid of them later, but a large number of the aircraft go through what's called regeneration, where we will take them and we will return them to flyable status in order to use them for different programs. For example, we're regenerating F-4s that are used as drones so that our pilots can shoot live missiles at them to identify whether or not they would have been able to hit a target in combat.
These aircraft that were produced in 66, 67, 68, 69, you're rebuilding an aircraft that was made almost 40 years ago and has spent the last 20 years sitting in the desert in storage. So it's a tremendous task to take that airplane out of the desert, rebuild it, and then get it